Good day, good night, good evening. And that's it for the 125th podcast of Real Tennis Fans. It's done, it's over. Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Is there anything to talk about? I don't think so.
No.
Wimbledon
Thanks for joining
2018
us.
is. Yes, thank you for joining us and for tuning in. Wimbledon 2018 is over, and there's nothing to talk about. It's just simply nothing to say. So we are here tonight to bury Wimbledon 2018. It is gone and it will be forgotten. But before I go any further, let me introduce my two co-hostesses with the mostesses. Maybe they want to say something. I got nothing to say. We have Andrine from Solely Tennis Travel. How are you, girl?
I'm happy to be at this funeral march.
Well, that's good. At least someone's happy. And we have Janina from Farming, Ohio. What's going on, girl? Janina?
Praise the Lord.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Sister
happy.
Beatrice. Sister Beatrice.
We could come here tonight and put an end to this madness.
I'm telling you, this messy. I'm telling you. I don't know. This was supposed to be some kind of anniversary, they say, but I'm telling
Good luck to them.
no, we're not having it. They gotta have to put this in the vault and just be like, oop, 2017 Wimbledon, then 2019, and that's it. That's it.
Fine with that.
And Hamas said, stop with the sad music, Reels. And there is a homosexual of the podcast, which is Reels. And we have a whole bunch of um fans out here, Master Ace, Tony C, Zenobia, and DJ Sama. Sister Beatrice. Sister
I'm
Beatrice.
praying.
I mean, you can end the funeral march.
Exactly. Okay. We're at the Grit Cemetery. We're here already. Okay?
I was all up in my feelings, I was about to do the Kiki dance.
Bless
We're
us all.
here.
Okay.
We're here at the cemetery, getting ready to bury it. We have Yvette as well. Yvette's like there wasn't one. All right, Zenobia, and I voted Janina lead prayer, as I know she'll pray hard for me. Yes, Tony. Yeah, that was really hard for you, Tony. Ooh.
God, Tony got smacked by the devil twice in a day. I want to know why you haven't been living your life right, that the Lord did not come through for you.
Bitch.
It's probably because they refer to them as booty twins. God don't like booty. Apparently,
God don't like ugly.
Oh
Look
my
where
God.
it got us.
I don't
Look
know
where
who
it got us.
Mark Miller is here with us. I don't know. Maybe because we're being blasphemous. You know what?
All right.
I know, devil.
So how are you, Serena? How are you, Serena Stans doing? Let's start with how are you, Serena Stans doing?
I'm feeling good.
Let me just put it out there. I was happy that Serena confirmed to the world that she's a human being.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. Did you think she wasn't?
Well, people didn't seem to think she could be human. People just thought, she was gonna show up and she was gonna vindicate all their feelings and all their hopes, and moms haven't been doing anything ever in the entire history of the world until Serena Williams showed up to prove to us that moms can do something. So I was happy that she showed us that, moms are human and, moms are not living their life for you. Moms are living their life for themselves and their children. So anything else beyond that, it's just gravy. So, she's not there for you.
Nobody cares about that, Reels.
Really?
That was not inspirational at all. I don't know what.
You're a hot mess.
Is that kind of church we should be doing inspirational?
No. Yes, this church is inspirational.
But inspirational doesn't mean you have to win, does it?
Well, I think my favorite moment is when they asked Serena about whether she was sort of managing this loss better, and she was just, "I'm just a better actress." I was like, accurate.
Oh my God. Deb said this is the worst Wimbledon since I've been watching, and I watched Borg McEnroe in the maternity ward after giving birth. Deb,
Oh Lord,
you a
I
sister
don't.
soldier. Can I just put that out there? Deb is the real super mama here, okay?
I know. I can't imagine that. How can you guys call this the worst Wimbledon when we had the slaughter of what was it? 2013? Was that year when everybody lost?
Well, I'm
Right?
just saying. I mean, I'm sure in 2013 there was the doubles and mixed doubles, something to celebrate. This was just like, I mean, no disrespect to the Czech girls who won the women's doubles. I don't know who you are, so I can't say whether you were good, bad, or in between. So I mustn't pretend, Lord, your fans, your parents were happy and excited for you. So I'm cool with that. But the men's doubles, mixed doubles,
Who won that, by the way?
who won what? Mixed doubles?
Yeah. Could you list the winners?
Well, I know for mixed doubles, it wasn't Azarenka. So
No,
whoever
it
else
wasn't.
won,
No,
really.
it wasn't.
You
It was
can't just
American.
say it wasn't. So.
Oh my God, I can't with you right now.
That was always important to me. Azarenka and other mom winning. Apparently, these moms get to the finals and then was just like, wah, wah, wah. And apparently, I read some tweets online. I was just like, maybe Leo needs to come on court to help Jamie Murray because he's doing shit.
Oh my gosh.
People would not feel it. And then the men's double, thank you. Oh, I wasn't even going to mention it, but thank you since is here to let us know. Brian and Sock won.
Oh, they
and I was
did
just
win?
like, yeah. I mean, another South African got in the finals, and then he flopped just the same. But at least he pushed it to 5 sets. It's Klassen, I think his name is. His last name is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they got it. Well, there was a 5 sets. Apparently, that was thrilling, and they probably played till 11 o'clock because let's not even talk about it. They played till 11 o'clock on Saturday because everything was all over the place on Saturday. And it was an Austrian and American team won the mixed doubles. I forgot their name. Well, see, that just me, Janina.
It was Pea and Melichar. That's mixed doubles.
Melkor or
Melichar, I think it is.
Melichar.
Yeah.
Something like that. Well,
probably Melichar, but yeah. Oh wow, that person's great though, because she was playing.
Cute. She was in the doubles. She was in
she was in both doubles.
Final.
That's wonderful for her. Even
Americans. I think enough for that money put together. That's like being in the 3rd round in singles. So good job.
It's too bad for Venus though that Aussie, because it would have been fun if didn't he win the French?
Who?
Venus?
Yeah, Michael Venus. Didn't he win the French? He won the French with Ryan Harrison.
No. The French. Oh, that was years ago. You mean?
No, it's just
no.
year, dude.
Oh wow.
No, this year was the French team won French Open.
No, I was just saying he won it, so it would have been nice for him as well to have a calendar. It's not a calendar, but at least a slam, a grand slam.
To start going somewhere, right?
Yeah.
The second one, that's cute. like Angie, right? Angie's going for the career slam just now. She just needs to collect French Open, and she's good.
Yeah.
Ooh, Angie's looking like Stan on the women's side. Is that what we're gonna say?
No, she's better than that.
She's better than Stan, though.
Really?
Why not?
Yes, really.
I mean, Stan show up and just beat your fave, doesn't he? Like he beats the heavy.
No. Angie is better than Stan. Stop it.
As a career, I'd say.
A career slam is not overrated. Not a lot of people have them. Come on, guys.
Who's saying it's overrated?
I don't know.
Hazam. Well, I don't know who Hazam is, but
I think it's not overrated. You're winning it on 4 different surfaces. They theoretically are different surfaces. So even though you can play the same tennis as we saw from Rosalie,
it's kind of a big deal, kids.
It is hard to do. I mean,
we
Lindsay
learned that in Sunday school.
Hasn't done that.
Sampras
hasn't done that. Fed barely did it. Nole barely did it. You know what I'm saying? So it is a tough thing to do. Well, yeah, Sharapova has a career slam, but Sharapova
she has a doping
Meldonium.
slam.
You see, that's different. Sharapova has Meldonium. He only got Wimbledon. That's that one time. 2004, that's it.
So what do we want to talk about? Let's move on. What are we going to talk about?
We want to talk about the men or the women.
Women
because we need. Listen, we need to bring some Jesus up in here.
I mean, let me just say, I just thought the women, it's not a fizzled out. I mean, yes, a lot of
but that happens. We talk about that.
We talk about it all the time, but but none of these like second week matchup turned out to be anything epic or compelling.
I know.
Spectacular. I don't think very few of them went to 3 sets.
Nope.
I was really disappointed in Ostapenko's turn in the semifinal. I mean, maybe next year she's gonna get to the finals, and then the year after that she's gonna win in 2020. But she just seems to be doing one step better. I don't know, but she really didn't think, and I really thought Gilgis was gonna put something out better, being like, I played Serena in French Open. I was a little nervous, I could do better this time around. But she came out there looking the same goddamn way. She looked worse actually than she did at the French Open, in my opinion. Serena really was a little bit merciful.
Haley.
So Haley, so I don't know. I just thought the tournament just sort of fizzled out, and though this was supposed to be a compelling finals, Angie and Serena last time they played, whatever the case may be, Serena looked either exhausted, no footwork and whatever, and even that too wasn't their first finals in 2016 was far more compelling than this. But Serena's coming back from maternity leave, and she's not the same as she was, though she thinks in her mind she's where she should be. Clearly her body was like, girl, we got different ideas about where we should be. So I don't know if it's much toughness. I'm just thinking perhaps Serena's body is just like had to check her.
I think Serena's body is fine. I think you need to look at this situation for what it really was. I think Serena looked nervous. She played nervous tennis. Kerber came out strong from the beginning, which is okay. We've seen Serena do lots of slow starts. I know at one point Chrissy Everett even said, I'm not going to count Serena out because she can get better. And what we're seeing from Kerber is really the best that she's got. She can't get any better, which is true. But it never happened. Serena's feet stopped moving. The Serena that we saw in the final was not the same Serena we saw all tournament. I saw Kerber in a post-match interview say, that she played well, which she did. But she said, I don't feel like Serena lost the match. I feel like I won it. I don't think that's 100% true. Kerber played great tennis. She played great. She hit her serves well. She was getting to all kinds of balls. She was hitting with a lot of power behind them. She played really well. The things that Serena does really well and that she had been doing well, she wasn't doing well. She just wasn't. So, I think that we saw a better Serena in previous rounds, and I don't even know if it's I'm not even willing to say that that her draw was super soft, because we saw her get challenged. We saw her get pushed. Camilla Giorgi was like, bitch, you're going to have to rip this out of my cold, dead hands. And she,
but beyond that, though, I mean, I think
Serena was overwhelmed by the moment.
I don't think it was tight. I don't think it was a tight enough draw for her to be prepared to handle somebody that was out at Angie's level. I mean, I know that she lost the first set to Camilla, which would suggest that then Camilla was playing like lights out tennis, but Serena was able to tighten her game and pretty much was in control of the match from that point on. And then Gerges was no real challenge. So I mean, I think we have to understand that basically what ended up happening was the entire draw fell apart so that we got that final. And then Serena was competing against somebody that maybe, it would have been nice if she had a really strong challenge in the semis.
But the things that she can
control her game for that. No, of course. I'm just saying, but Serena's game just wasn't there in the final.
It wasn't there. It wasn't. We did not see the same Serena in that final that we saw all tournament, which is why I'm not willing to put so much weight on Kerber bringing a tougher game, because there are things that your opponent doesn't control. She can hit her off the court, but Serena wasn't moving her feet. We know that when Serena's not moving her feet, she's nervous. We've seen it for 20 something years now. She was nervous.
I mean, I have a question to ask in that situation. What if it is as of late, I mean, this has been going on. Maybe sometimes we think of Serena as I'd want to call her Serena Nada. You know, she shows up in these big matches. It's like, you know, with all this experience, and she's in control of the match. But what if Serena has become, as of late, somewhat of a nervy player, and that she gets overwhelmed by the moment? In 2014, trying to get to 18, it was a struggle all throughout that year. And then 2015, you know, she got to the US Open. I was there for that Roberta Vinci match, and we know Bertha. Bertha ain't doing a goddamn thing that's supposed to really trouble Serena. But Serena got overwhelmed by the entire moment again, and then, you know, just completely lost her way. You know, and maybe it's another one of the situation where, you know, like this was supposed to solidify, you know, like I don't think she needs to solidify anything, but the legend and the mystique and the power and the feminine mystique that is Serena. And this moment became a little bit overwhelmed for her too, because I mean, like she was
clearly after she said it too. Like it seemed like she had put a lot of pressure on herself for this to be some sort of performance for motherhood or mothers, right, and what it meant, which was unnecessary. But yeah, I mean, Serena was missing balls that she just normally wouldn't. She just.
And when was the last time you saw Serena get choked up over a loss? It doesn't happen.
2015 US Open.
Well, then that's that.
There you go.
The point.
There you go.
You
she was nervous.
But and I think, you know, and everyone loves Patrick and everyone, but I just think sometimes. But I guess it's part of what sells paper and then bring people in, right? But I think, you know, Serena, if she wants to continue her career, you know, she needs to just get out, stop letting those things get in her way, because then just concentrate on the tennis.
About? What things?
What does that have to do with?
And what does Patrick have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, in terms of, I say Patrick because, you know, creating this whole idea of the legacy, right? It's always about the legacy of Serena.
But she's been doing that too. I mean, Serena was not necessarily talking legacy until I think the most recent years, where suddenly there was this push for these aims and, you know, wanting to sort of grab all these titles and different things. So I don't necessarily think that that's a Patrick thing. I think Serena understands her legacy and wants to solidify it. And I don't think
let me just take Patrick out of it. Maybe she needs to
release that. I mean, how can you?
Patrick is good for her.
She's a champ.
No, I'm not saying Patrick is bad for her at all. I think Patrick is an amazing addition to the team. I mean, like, it's not like he's teaching her something. I think they can collaborate and talk about something, you know. Like, he is one of those coaches that doesn't make the moment that they can speak on an equal level, as opposed to, you know, someone might be overwhelmed trying to coach Serena. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they can
he seems on her level in that way.
They could be on that level, and, you know, like, he works well within the established team that's there, which is always, you know, according to Nole, that is a hard find. But, you know, they are difficult. But I mean, I do think that sometimes, like in these moments, and as the great champion that she is, she will find herself in moments like these all the time, where the outside world is making it something more than just another tournament and getting number 20 something, whatever the case may be. And I think she needs to release those demons and not be bogged down by those things. She needs to find a way to navigate these things. I mean, I don't mind, you know, you lose a match, but sometimes these losses are just like spectacular and horrific, you know, and she gets all up in her feelings, as she has been of late, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually the biggest surprise was that it didn't go to 3. That was the most surprising aspect of it for me, was that she didn't seem to be able to adjust in the second set.
Right.
To be able to sort of marshal her game, which I think was probably really the most surprising aspect. Not so much that Angie won, really.
That happened in Melbourne, and when they played, you know, where she sort of like, she was leading and she kind of like dipped. That we can understand that, right? Where someone was able to handle the moment. But she came out looking like, God, at least Venus last year, she tried for a set.
Oh, please. We can't even. Don't invoke Venus here.
Venus tried for
Venus got bagels.
Venus tried for a set.
Stop yourself. Okay? You can't even.
Venus tried for a set.
Whatever. She got bagels.
Serena Venus won more games in that first set alone as Serena did. Equal, right?
Stop yourself. But you know what was the same end result? A loss.
A loss. And they go home with a dish. They go home with a little plate, a little serviette.
Listen, Daniel just made a point, and it's one that people don't like to talk about, but it is true. Serena is not in shape yet.
No, she's like 80% there. She's 80% there.
That matters.
If that, maybe 60. Yeah, she was. I think Angie played her type of tennis, and Serena was not ready for all that running.
I don't know who this Hamas is, but I mean, like, sorry, I don't know who this Hamas is, but I just feel like I can understand you trying to come for me. That's fine, but you need to be far more specific than saying random.
Yeah, let's just talk about she left that plate on the chair, and what does that mean?
It means exactly what she said, which is I'm a better actress at losing.
I like that.
I love it. That means that
I love that.
She don't believe in that plate. She don't believe in that plate.
I want to know. I want to know if that was foreshadowing for the rest of the year. Like, fuck that shit. Watch out.
Well, listen, it's not it's more than foreshadowing. Listen, Serena hates losing. She said it.
She said it a million times. She says I hate losing more than I enjoy winning.
She called Venus a bitch. We remember that. So I think that it's just her serving notice that, you know what, I was not 100% and I got myself to this final. And I think she is going to learn a ton, as she said, from this loss, because it revealed that she was not quite there. She finally she finally competed against a player who had won a slam, and it exposed the holes in her game, which is what you want to have happen, right? I mean, it's a good story.
Theoretically, yes.
It's a good Cinderella story for her that she got to that final. But in the end, she knew that if I was going to be competing against somebody who was comfortable in a slam final like Angie was, this was my opportunity to get some information. And she got a lot of information, which is like, I'm definitely not where I need to be slapping these girls around this summer. So I think I think that's what the plate meant. Like, okay, I know what I'm going to do now. I know what's missing. I know what the holes are, and I can see it. And I have an aim, and maybe the aim is the US Open, but I think you're right. I think it was a wake up call. I wish she had gotten that wake up call in the quarterfinals. Or semi, because I think a match of a player of Angie's caliber a little bit earlier would have been a really, really good information for Serena too.
Right, and what I think Angie did more so than everybody else. Angie didn't play Serena Williams 23 major, 24 major. She played Serena Williams just come back from maternity leave. And I'm going to take my moment. I'm going to take this moment, right?
And she's like, I know I'm fitter at this moment.
Exactly. I don't have time to be nervous. I don't have time to think. Angie was focused. I mean, like, at no point did she ever become nervous or losing her way. Like, oh my God, Serena's gonna come back. She never allowed Serena to settle herself into the match.
No, she ran
at any point. She was just like, as soon as Serena broke, she got back on serve. She broke Serena first up. And she was ready, and that's commendable.
Yeah, I think there was a game. I was watching it with Bridge P via Skype, and there was I think there was a game before Angie served for the set where I think Serena had break points, if I'm not mistaken. And we talked about it. And I was like, if Serena doesn't break here, that's just good news for Angie, because that was Serena really putting up resistance, and usually that's a good sign, right? Okay, here you go. But actually, it was Serena errors that gave her that allowed Angie to You know what I mean? I think it was that, if I'm not mistaken, 2 games in.
The toughest match was Mladenovic, right? Mladenovic played really tough. She is another one, but even when the big moments came, she couldn't handle it. She sort of fell over herself.
She collapsed. Well, she was serving for the set. I mean, helped by a slip around the grass. But also, Serena returned really well in that game to break her. But that was not happening. That was just not Angie. Angie ran her a bit ragged. Got her side, drew her forward when she wasn't comfortable, so that most of the balls ended up in the bottom of the net.
Wow. Coming to master is 24 errors from Serena to 5 for Angie.
Yeah,
she played ugly
match. Yeah, it was.
And Serena didn't. It's not a good look for anybody.
It was an error-filled match. But let's also talk about the fact that, Angie was ready for the moment too. This is we talk about Serena. This is Serena's opponent. This is a person who has played horrible after winning a slam, has felt bad, and got herself through a slam. And her draw was not a cakewalk. So she was match ready for that final. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
look what Chad just said. He said he spoke with someone who was at the tournament, said Serena was trying to leave court before Angie had even finished her lap, but a tournament official stopped her.
Yeah, she was done.
She was done. She's like, I'm out.
A second death in that moment. But I think listen, I mean, given another opponent, a sort of subpar Serena might have won. But I think Angie was matched.
Had it been Ostapenko, had it been Halep,
given her a little bit more errors, yeah, for sure. But
so
I think,
let's quickly discuss.
And Angie has been here before, right? She's a two-time major champion, and she's been to 3 finals prior to this.
And she's played her in this final on grass, exactly. So she understood what was called for. It was great. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Angie because you know what?
She played great.
She's not my favorite player. But we have to respect the fact that her game fell apart and she fell apart. And people are like, who's Angie? And it's amazing that she got herself to that final.
Yeah, because I questioned her ability to do anything ever again.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was just like, what's his name? It's our coach. Oh my God, what's his name?
She has a new coach.
Wimbledon said. He was like, watch out for Andrew this year. And I was just like, Andrew keep losing steam in the big points, right? Because I think she won Brisbane and then fell apart in Melbourne. Yeah. And then it was just like a hot mess all over the place. Because she played, didn't she play Hopman Cup this year?
Yes, she played with Sasha, remember?
Yeah.
And they got to the final.
They got to the finals, and that was just like.
And she turned. You remember? And that was everybody thought Angie was. But let's remember, everyone thought Angie was going to do well
this year.
Because she did that. But then she had that amazing match in Oz with that painful loss, right? So her game was coming back, but it just. You didn't think it was gonna make it.
Yeah, because she kept losing, right? She kept losing. She lost to Wozniacki and Eastburn. Just like, who was checking for Angie?
So
Serena was just like, Angie's in the top 10 technically. Now you know, girl.
Serena was checking for her.
She didn't play Brisbane?
Yeah.
Are you sure? She just moved from Hopman Cup all the way to Melbourne. I think she played a tournament between. I'm almost sure of that, but I could be wrong. But I'm almost sure she played the tournament.
But also, Angie's legit because look at who Angie has beaten in her 2 of her slams.
Serena, she is the second person to ever do that. Who is the other? Venus. So give respect where respect is due. But let us talk a moment about how do you feel about that scheduling? Should the women have played before the men finished?
Okay, now this is oh my God, this is gonna sound so bad. Okay. When it first happened, I was like, this is ridiculous. Put the men on court number 1 and let's just roll it, right? Because it's real. But I understand all the politics aside, first of all, it just wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look that like, hello, we're just gonna move the ladies because the men's tournament couldn't handle itself. Poor planning on their part and poor scheduling really ended up screwing the ladies. But then at the end, I was like, the women's match only lasted how long? So I feel like the audience probably didn't mind in the end. The live audience of people who actually paid cash. I think they probably didn't mind getting a good 2 sets from the men's semis. And then the ladies' final, which was quite short.
Well, when it's all said and done,
and done, right?
But we didn't know
hindsight. We didn't know that, but hindsight. Only afterwards would I say if I was sitting there as a fan, how would I feel? Because I'm just saying I disagreed with it at the beginning, but after thinking about it and like, well, if I had sat there and I was like, oh wow, this is actually a really good experience. I got like a good couple hours of tennis in my ticket today. So yes, but only for the person who was sitting there physically.
I really don't know.
But this has happened before with Radek, I think.
They had precedent to move it to 1.
They have move it to court 1, but as I mentioned to someone, this was before Twitter. This was before social media, and apparently.
It matters.
We know Wimbledon responds to social media critique, apparently.
these things would have mattered, and people would have made noise. Plus, the players are far more vocal about these things now. But just like, why are we being moved, etc., etc. I thought about why couldn't they start earlier, but those players went off the court 11 o'clock last night, the night before. You can't have them get up to try to play 11 o'clock the next morning.
No.
So they had to do, I don't know if they had to do press the same, but they had to cool down, rest, etc., warm up. So a later start would have been ideal. But typically, interestingly enough, though, as the rule, matches that will continue in the next, they never start first. They always
usually
start
second. Yeah.
They usually start second. So I would have expected that to have been the case.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that. But
I also think they had to try to give the men as much time to finish to try to be ready for the final, whoever wins. So it was a rather ticklish situation for, there was no easy solution, to this situation.
There was an easy solution. The men don't finish on center court. That was the easy solution. Everybody starts at the same time the next day, and then the men still start early and have time to recover, and then the women get to play their final when they expect to play it. This isn't the finals. This is I get it. But when you're playing a final and you're the last match of the tournament, in your bracket, that you're supposed to start on time. So is it really unfair to throw their schedules off? I mean, why is that okay?
I don't think, this is the thing about it, because one of the things that tennis players are aware of, the only time tennis players know exactly when they're going to start is a final, or if they're the first match. But tennis players are trained to not anticipate time like that.
Not for a final, but not for a final.
Exactly. But it's unusual that most of these people are in finals, right? So this is more of their career is not knowing when they start than the other way. This is what they're trained for, right? They train for, and this is what they know as juniors. I think what's interesting though is, I think, Reels, you make a fair point about kind of how much language and how much talk around scheduling happens, because in the past, I feel like people had more freedom to just move people and take them.
Yeah, these things didn't matter.
They didn't get shit from the world.
It just was not controversial.
Because the people on the ground understood that this was a very ticklish situation.
Yeah,
no one was screaming about, we need to finish on the same match that we were on. We need to be under the same conditions. None of these things seemed like there was something that needed to be extreme language and madness.
Although the same condition is apparently so key that it controlled the start of the match under the roof as well, right? I mean, people have gotten real precise. Like, hello, you're playing tennis. If the goal is to just finish, court one would have been just fine. But it seemed to me the goal was precise conditions as replicated from the night before. I mean, it was insane.
If you examine these people's motive, when you really ask, specific questions about, is the exact conditions we're talking about? Or are we talking about, I'm trying to see the slightest of advantage I can get for myself on my fave, what I think my favorite favor, my fave. Because a lot of it just seemed to be like, just like, my God, y'all are being very crazy and technical about stupid shit. But y'all not being technical about real shit like drug testing. Like, how many people?
But they got to be real precise about I need it to be the same temperature.
The temperature. Oh, we don't need sunshine, and whatever. Meanwhile,
I think
as we're talking about all these conditions and whatever,
was right.
We're actually at the 10th anniversary of a match that should have been canceled. But we kept on.
It was too dark. Actually, it's so funny to look.
There was no condition to really play.
It's so interesting to listen to them now talk about it, because they're chagrined, because they know that match should have been shut for darkness. They know it, right? So they can't even claim that moment in the way they want to, because somebody's like, "Oh yeah, it was really dark." But it's all like, you know what? It was all about this need to hold to the scheduling. Like the lack of flexibility around the scheduling is so strange to me, because why? I mean, yes, I know it's TV time, but why couldn't they have some flexibility about starting the men a bit later? It was the men's fault, because listen, there is a fault at play. You can't finish your match in 4 sets. 5 sets or what have you. That's your problem. You're not breaking serve, or you're not doing whatever you need to do.
Devin's like, Lord, please let me hold it together when 2008 comes out.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It's like you're sitting around. It's like you're punishing the women for the men's failure to manage their own matches better. And so they should play the full consequence of that, which is you're playing second. And, woe be to you if you take it to 5.
I mean, here's the thing. I think this result would have been...
the women were not going to go longer than 2-3 hours. It was never going to be a 3-hour match. So they really could have started the women on time and put the men second. It was never going to be a 2-hour, 2.5. It was never going to be more than 2.5 hours at least, right?
I thought so too. I mean, but I guess, and the other thing too was just like, they're gonna be out on court and they have to come back again the next day. That's what I meant. There would have been no easy solution to this problem, because there would be roofers and tweets and whatever would have gone on Twitter some. And here's the thing: you wouldn't hear shit from people who are actually at the tournament.
I know, as always.
It's TV people, fucking people watching it on TV, just losing their goddamn mind because they don't know the conditions that's inside. They don't know shit. They're home on their couch in front of their fans, and they just seem to dictate and make all of this, man. These fucking roofers. It's just insane.
But you know what? Let's be honest. Let's be real. The commentators and the broadcasters wanted it. They wanted that match on center, because if you listen to the way they talked about it, they were talking about it was such a privilege to see these two battle out. That center court audience, they got a treat today. I mean, similar to what I started out saying, because I'm thinking about the person who paid and was like, what value they got. But at the same time, I think that broadcasters were excited to have a return of Rafael. And that was the most important thing to them.
10th anniversary of a similar mess, right?
Yeah,
we're trying to create some kind of narrative and some storyline behind the practicality. The practicality of the situation at hand.
Exactly.
Damn practical nature, damn what seemed to be on a larger picture. We get to sell a story and a narrative here, but
And you know what? Can we talk about the whole thing about roofs and conditions? Some conditions will favor your faves. It's just the nature of situations. It's the same court for everyone, but you're right. Some conditions will favor your faves. It always will be the case.
But everybody has the same condition.
I know.
Okay, it isn't favorable on one side and it is on the other side.
Exactly. But at the same time, the idea that one condition isn't better or worse for a person, and so therefore a surface should be scrapped, or we should never play under the roof. I mean, I think that's just such a fan issue. I really do. I think that's a blown up fan commentator issue. Sometimes a situation will favor you and another time it won't. And what you hope for as a competitor is that it washes out in the end. And I actually think most of these people who compete really hard day in and day out, I think they have that mindset. I think they're fans, and I think commentators, and I think people who have who create a kind of strange pundit culture around different things. I think they're the ones that get caught up in the drama around the stuff and then feed the fuel for it. Yes, okay, a faster surface is going to favor you. Oh, a slower surface. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what it is. It is what it is, right? That's why you play on different surfaces and you say, well, good luck to you this time, because this surface is going to really work to your game. It's to act like it doesn't is really silly to me. And so to be oh my God, the roof, it's Rafa's fault or it's Nole's fault. I'm whatever, who cares? It didn't seem to me that Rafa pushed it to 5 sets. So how are we going to sit around and complain about the roof?
Girl.
That's what I mean. He managed the conditions well. And then to claim Nole as a victim, and then he still come out winning. It's I don't understand you people, but you know what? We have a guest coming on, and the guest should be here in about 15 minutes. So, as we're talking about the messy men, let's just jump right into it. Well, no, let's finish with the women though, and then do the men after.
We just got 15 minutes to do the men then.
No. We don't have a time on it.
Fair enough. Let's do the ladies. So what do we have to say about the women?
What other things happen on the women's side? Venus, thank you very much for participating and fighting.
I must say, I have to be disappointed in Sabulkova. I thought Sabulkova was gonna be a little bit more exciting, and I was disappointed how that match ended up. I have to say that. Just me. Of everybody else.
To her.
How's that?
You got her ass handed to her.
Well, then she showed me her ass later on, and I was all happy for that. So I must say, in the second week, she was the surprise for me. I mean, yeah, Ostapenko was just like, girl, I don't know who you think you are, but you know, I'm the new blonde on the scene. It's gonna be about me. And then Ostapenko flopped in the next round. But Sabulkova was trying her darn hardest, and that match, she was run ragged. And I really thought that she was going to, you know, she was.
Did you think that, or did you buy into the idea that Sabulkova should meet Serena so they can talk about their?
Oh no! I thought Sabulkova just like, you know what, she has that mindset, you know, like she's a very opportunist. I mean, like she's a WTA champion, right? Year-ending final champion. She just smelled the chance. Serena wasn't here. And I'm going to take these, you know, like, and she's famous for like finding a way in matches. She's fit, you know what I mean? And this was a winnable match. She wasn't facing someone who is like overwhelmingly, you know,
the fave,
you know. But Ostapenko came out there and was just firing in all cylinders. Don't know where that was next round, but you know, Ostapenko was, you know, hitting the lines. She was pushing her back, and you know, Dami has no problem running, but she was just like, "Bitch, I need to stop." Like, you know, she was just like she was over it. She was definitely over this match earlier on. So I was really disappointed in.
But you know,
that was a surprise for me.
I think the same thing happened in the French, where you had these really great potential matchups in the second week, like we said, and then it turned out to fizzle, right? In the end.
It really did fizzle. I mean, like after, you know, all of the hoopla trying to get here. But Vank, I thought also was sort of like she was in the match and then she wasn't in the match.
You're here.
So that to me was really, you know, we were right on a whole, you know, it just sort of fizzled. I didn't care anything about the seeding, who was seeded number 1, 12, whatever the case may be. But these ladies didn't seem to, I don't know if they were exhausted, but there was no real fight. None of these matches stood out to me as a real fight, you know, true test
or
of
classic.
I left it all on the line, you know, that kind of thing.
You know who didn't fight? Cobb Cliffs. What happened there?
Oh, well, you know her, right? She's like, she I didn't expect shit from, but you know, she should have been out earlier on. As a matter of fact, I thought I thought Begu had her against the rope at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Was it? Like she was to fight herself, but you know.
Well, she struggled a little bit from the start.
Yeah, so you know, Kiki Burton's the one out there really trying her best, and if Kiki is the one, if Kiki B is the one out here giving y'all, you know, tough matches, you know, wow. Venus.
Well, we can't even be mad at Venus because, you know, Kiki B, she got another round out of herself, right?
I'm just saying, Kiki was just, you know, this is Kiki taking an opportunity. I beat the person I wasn't supposed to be, and let's see if we can take this ride as far as we can go, right? Let's see.
Well, the person who played against above their pay grade was definitely Camila.
Really? I mean, oh God! I mean, like y'all just need to leave this poor woman alone.
Ooh,
like,
why?
Like Camila, I mean, Camilla's just like, look, I ain't out here to make friends. I just mind my business. You know, as poor and as broke as that is, you know, this.
What is the critique though? I'm actually giving her a compliment. I said she played above her pay grade. I think.
Well, no, because to me, Georgie always plays like this, right? We hit in flat, we hit in hard. If we miss, we miss. If we're in, we're in. Like, I would move on.
But it helped her get to the 4th round. That's
right. I mean, like, she was there. I mean, like, this could work. But next week,
if she keeps playing this well, she might have a little. They really
enjoy
her.
You don't understand.
They enjoy her at the U.S. Open, so she should have a fun time.
They do?
Yes, they do.
Why?
Italians have a very good following.
They have a lot of Italians show up. She's a lot of fun to look at because that's a part of it for a lot of the people.
And girl just
U.S. Open, and she makes a good time.
Versatile. I have to say, she makes lace versatile. I mean, like, I didn't
She
know you
wears
could
a
wear lace
lot of lace. She
everywhere,
does.
anyway. But I mean,
You
like, Camilla
can't. So
George is
listen,
just like,
she's setting a trend with lace, and I
She is
don't.
not
I'm not
no,
doing
mad at
that.
her.
no, no,
I'm not
No.
no,
mad at
no.
lace. Listen, I'm a child of the
No,
80s. I'm not mad
no,
at lace.
no, no, no. As a homosexual, I will not allow that comment to pass. We
She's
will
not
be,
setting a trend because
we will
no
set
one's
no
following
trend with
her.
lace. No trend for lace at all. Okay,
That's
unless
okay.
it's shoelaces we're talking about.
She's got fan love. See, I told you she's very popular at the U.S. Open. You're like, what? I was like, yep, I've seen
I
her.
mean, the Italians are very popular at the U.S. Open.
Yes, they
They
are.
are. I mean, men and women, they can do no wrong there. There are
Yes.
people there who are a
They're for the
million
Italians.
generation, you know, and they're all who these Italian. I mean, trust me. I mean, they showed up for that Panetta Vinci finals. Hey,
Well,
nobody else
someone had
really
to
showed up
show
for
up.
that. Was that?
Someone had to show up.
Well, I'm telling you, Italians. That's the one. They're popular. But Chad, the lace wasn't fire. Okay, stop that mess. The lace was not.
See,
Look.
Chad understand. Thank you, Chad.
And the lace is not trendy. Like I was this like girl, like, and the unfortunate thing is her mother makes this mess.
I love it. It's not unfortunate at all. That means that they're keeping the money in the family. Get on with it.
Oh my God.
I mean, they're pinching pennies and they're searching that couch for some money. That's what they're doing. But you know what? Georgie, you know what, girl? Let me not be mad at you, okay? You kind of cut corners and save some money. We all need to do that. You know, but let's at least no, girl.
What else about the women's tournament stood out for people before we?
Nothing.
I mean, Donna Vekic doing better than her Boo Stanley. I mean, you gotta give that something. That gotta get some kind of prize. If Donna's playing better than Stanley, I'm just saying.
No, that's great. That's actually really great for Donna. Getting a fourth round, not an easy thing to do. See what I mean? Look at that. Rodina, Serena had to go through Rodina. I mean, come on.
Oh
that's no prep for nothing.
You are not being very nice.
No, I'm just looking at it.
True. It is true.
When you look at the draw, like, I think Keys is a better prep.
I mean,
it's bad.
Rodina just came out there, but you just like, you know what?
She was hampered, right?
No
she was
bagel, no breadstick. That's the goal. That was what it was. I think she just pull off the injury thing and adjust to how to save phase. Because at one point,
at the end of the last match,
the crowd was just like, "Girl, just win a point. Just win a point. Just a point." Like, win a point. It's just like, I mean,
who looked the best? It's been entirely superficial. Who looked the best? I don't remember many of the outfits, to be honest, though.
And I watched a lot of tennis, and that's the crazy thing. I didn't like Ostapenko look like she was wearing her brother's clothing and she cut it up or something. It just looked messy. I must say, I'm happy to see Bencic around. Hopefully, this is signs that I love her and she's playing well. Kastakina, like she's supposed to be something. So, Rodina was playing for diaper money, Carl. Oh my God. Hey, but you know what? Mom. Wimbledon was about the moms and the mothers. So hey.
Well, apparently people had never seen mothers do anything besides.
I'm telling you. It just seemed like if
you know what? It was a Lord giveth and the Lord taketh narrative. Ooh.
I mean, somehow I feel like we were living in the giver and we just had baby makers, and that was just people got caught up in the Handmaid's Tale or something like that. Like,
oh my God! Stop.
Women have been, women have been doing a lot of things, like a lot of things.
It's hard. These narratives are difficult. They're difficult to hold on to and do something.
What I find so crazy is the people who are pushing it. If it's some idiot who's pushing it, like there are women in the room. And y'all can stop this shit from happening. I mean, come on now.
Oh, listen, I can't.
And then people yucking it up like, oh my God, like, woman, you had a baby. You had to go back to work. It's normal. It's completely normal. You know who I saw on track running this afternoon? Shelly Ann Fraser Price. She won 2 Olympic gold medal. She had to go. It happens all the time in other sports. People have babies all the time. Synchronized swimming where your figure
It
matters.
kind of happens all over the world.
Exactly. So I mean, it's just like, but you know what? Hey, so but there's a lot of moms, and we're gonna have a daycare center, and I would like to be in charge of that daycare center because I'm sure those kids got a lot of shit to say. If the parents ain't talking, kids got a lot of secrets to spare. Fed, call me up, boo. I can babysit 4 of them. Don't worry, Janina's gonna help me, and Deb will
Oh my
help
god.
too. We got them covered, Fed. We got
Are we
them
ready?
covered. And Stefan, we got something to tell him. We got a lot. I got a lot of questions, Stefan. I'll bring a translator and all too, boo. We can open a daycare center for tennis players, right? And we're gonna get all the shit on their parents, every last bit. So we are done with the ladies.
Yeah.
Anything fans want to say something?
Yeah.
Let us know. Well, Deb is making an important point. They act like we're still in the era of 14-year-old slam winners. It's true. Like the toys made up of
It's true.
grown women. You can't.
A lot of 25-year-olds or older. That's gonna be happening a lot. It's true.
And they don't retire at 25 and 28 anymore. So, people going on and having babies and return to work and do their shit. So this happens all the time.
Okay.
Zanobe, don't you be jinxing us. Reels is a good, babysitter. Don't worry. They ain't going nowhere because we're sitting and having a conversation. They're not gonna get in any kind of trouble. They have no time for naps. Okay. Reels are doing pen and paper. Okay, we're gonna do some artwork. So can you show me what daddy he does? Can you draw this? What daddy does after work? So get on to the men. So, ladies,
Sure.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's our guest.
I mean, I just have.
Where's our guest?
Oh, we should bring our guest on our podcast. Is our guest still awake and alive?
Yes, just checked in. She's ready.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay. So let me do the thing that I'm supposed to do as the choir director of this mess.
The choir director. Oh god.
Let's just hope all works.
So, what were other people's impressions of the women's? What did our guests and folks that are talking along with us?
Well, mostly, we live in a wall of Serena stands, so
no,
they
fine. I'm asking Janina Reels while you choir direct. Thank you.
That was done. What I really want to know, Janina,
I'm trying to help you out.
Janina, what I really want to know is if Tony called you crying on Saturday.
Oh yeah, but how does everybody feel? Yeah, like there are real fans out there. This was a big deal.
I was proud of Tony. He did well. He did not call me crying. Maya, on the other hand, she didn't call me crying, but she was a blubbering mess when she saw Serena choke up.
Aww.
How were you doing, Daniel? You were so shady last year when Venus lost. So see, growth. See, I'm not bitter and petty. See, I didn't see anything shady about Serena.
Stop lying. Yes, you are. You are bitter and petty.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent out the word to our guest.
I think everybody was generally very celebratory though. I didn't there wasn't the usual stench when Serena loses.
No, and you know what helped that? The long embrace of the two of them at the net.
Yeah, how she reacted.
I think they genuinely like each other. I do.
Mm-hmm.
They typically, their hugs almost always extra long, and there's always some words. It's really nice to see. Mm-hmm. It is. It calms down the crazy people because God knows there's enough of them. Well,
like Rafa, they know how it's gonna be spin, right? How you're gonna take it and run with this, and make something about it. So, I think they were well aware of how media matters.
Is that what we're calling it?
Well, I mean, Serena was ready to be like, fuck this shit, girl. Have a good day. Enjoy it. Okay? You could take both trophies. Okay, you could take the gold plate and the silver one.
Honestly, though, that is iconic, though. I'm leaving this thing right on my seat.
I love it.
Let's see.
No, I mean,
the
I
men should
wanna
learn a
know.
thing or two about this, because you
I
know
wanna
what?
know if that was
It's better
intentional.
doing that way than looking salty behind them daggers and trying to stab somebody in the back. Like I'm just saying, just leave the plate behind there and be like, "Can I go now?" Because it's an ice bath that I really would like to be in.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to, get our guest here. I don't know if we have any technical difficulty. Everything seems to be cool on my end.
We're just gonna move on with the men while you try to solve that.
Well, my biggest question on the man, I'm just gonna put it out there, and then we can go anywhere y'all want to do. Why the fuck do people like Janina get this far? I'm just saying. That's all I have. We ain't talking about Fed for me. It's whatever. I'm just like, who let Johnny Isner get this far? Who do I need to look in the drawer, and who do I need to blame and say, why did this happen?
Well, it was Milos, wasn't it? He was the one that should have taken care of him, wasn't it him?
Because that's the root of all this evil, right? All about the scheduling, the roof closing, the women should have been on first, whatever. It's all Johnny Isner's fault. Just saying.
All of it?
Yeah. I'm petty, remember?
Oh, a couple of minutes ago you weren't. So, okay, just as long as we're clear.
Oh, you said so. Sister Beatrice said so. I mean, like, if she said so, it's the word.
Yeah, I do say so for sure.
I mean, I think the problem was that what happened with Federer, though? Let's talk about it, because maybe Federer would have been able to handle John Isner, so we wouldn't have had to deal with.
We know that Federer can handle John Isner.
They usually can. Big server.
It wouldn't have lasted 6 hours. One who win or lose. It wouldn't have lasted 6.5 hours. That which was very going to be clear on.
Yeah, I mean, I think what happened in the Anderson match? What do you guys see? What did you all see there that you thought? I mean, I think there were moments in that third set when Federer had a chance to take it to a tiebreak that he just didn't capitalize on. There were lots of moments there where he could have done that, but it didn't happen.
You know what? Listen, true story. I'm thinking today we've got this podcast coming up, and I know that, Federer lost. I didn't even remember who he lost to.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I'm remembering, I feel like Federer, I mean, Kevin played great, and he's getting more confident. Kevin is.
Yep.
With his game, and he, he's not a slouch. He's been steadily climbing the ranks and doing better and getting big wins, but it just seemed like Federer, did he have some brain farts or something? Like,
yeah, like
I don't know.
Like he just wasn't. He wasn't tight. His game wasn't tight.
Yeah, like he missed that match point, and then did that like throw him off? I don't know. It was weird. I just kept waiting. Okay, so two things.
Mm-hmm.
I kept waiting for Federer to up his level and finish it off, and I honestly kept waiting for Anderson to choke. I didn't think he was going to be able to serve it out. I didn't think he would be able to hold his nerve and win that match. That's huge, and we have seen him falter.
Sure. Yeah.
It was weird. It was weird. And I'm just like, whatever. Okay, so Federer, I'm going to put it out there. I'll put it out there. Federer lost. He didn't make it to the end. I did not want Rafa to make it to the end. I know y'all fuckers thought I was crazy talking about I need Nole to win this. I'm so happy that happened. I did not want Rafa in that final and Federer not be in the final on the 10th anniversary. of the greatest match of all time, one of them get there and the other one not, because you know what would have happened? We would have had this whole conversation about, well, maybe Rafa's better because he was able to get back here 10 years later and Federer wasn't. Motherfuckers, it's been 10 years. We're lucky either one of them are still playing at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have to say, I think, because the idea is, do you think the change to court one discombobulated Fed?
No, of course it didn't. That's silly. It's silly. Why would it matter to him? Because he always plays on center court? I mean, I don't like it. I'm not taking that. Oh, that threw him off, or he's more comfortable here or there. I don't think Federer gives two fucks where he plays at. I really don't.
Do people on the timeline agree? Do you guys agree? Do the YouTube listeners agree?
I mean, to me, it didn't. I just thought that for me, Federer looked like, he was on it. I'm on it. And then you're just like, oh, I don't know what's happening here anymore. Maybe I'll get it back later on. There was no sense of urgency, like none. Like after the third set, he missed that match point. He was just like, oh, well, maybe some other time. And then it just all seemed like, there was no sense of urgency to finish up in 4. And then the 5th set, by the time he felt some kind of sense of urgency, Kevin Anderson was just like, shit, I can win this shit. Like, Kevin Anderson didn't see much more. And Federer looked like, I wouldn't say he was tired, but he just wasn't, like, he just couldn't be sharp as much as he wanted to. Like, he was willing himself to do something, but he just couldn't because Kevin Anderson was on top of it now. Kevin Anderson was just like, you know what? He looked like he's not 100% over there. I'm not going to allow him to get himself together. I am going to be, forcing the moment, making it over, and doing it well, et cetera, et cetera. And he could be a little bit more reliable. And I mean, like, Kevin Anderson's been here before, right? He had Nole against the rope once and then let it go. So he was just like, I'm not making those kind of mistakes anymore because I've been getting to these major parts of the tournament. And Federer's 36, going to be 37. I should be able
and
to
Master
take
Ace
this
is saying something about the court plays faster. Is he talking about Federer? Because a faster court is never going to hurt Federer ever.
But it will help his opponent with that serve. I mean, I think the one thing that
Federer.
No, I think the one thing. Yeah, but I think the one thing that the Isner match showed was that Anderson was serving very well then. Do you know what I mean? Because he held serve for so long in that match. And I know that John Isner is not a great returner, but like, I think Anderson made 8 unforced errors? That's unusual for him.
He played a really clean match.
He played a very clean match after Federer messed up those chances in the 3rd set. So once those opportunities went away, and I think Federer said the same thing in his presser. I'm surprised that I wasn't able to create more chances for myself and that I also wasn't able to surprise him, which was very true.
I think our guest is here.
Yes. Hello.
Hi.
You can turn off your camera if you'd like.
No, it's okay.
Look at her. Cool. She's like, I'll share what I look like. Oh, yeah, you have a lovely voice, but you're in the dark.
Yeah, it's fine. I was just letting you guys finish your spiel, and then I was
oh no, we talk too much. You can cut us off anytime.
You can cut us off. We can always trash on the men, which will return.
Exactly.
So, Andreen, introduce our guest since you are the one that got her here.
Well, I think anyone who follows, anyone who's on Twitter, which I think most of you are, will know her as Angs 2014.
Yeah.
And Angie, but her real name, that's always strange because you never know on Twitter. What's your real name? Your real name is Angie, right?
Yes, my real name is Angie, but my full name is Angela.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're okay with Angie, right?
Yeah, because we don't like Angeliques around here.
We're starting early. So anyway, I really wanted to have Angie on because Angie took her pilgrimage to Wimbledon, and she braved the queue.
I did.
For real, for legit. And I was like, I need to talk to Angie because Angie did it the real way.
Yeah, because we're only doing Wimbledon if we win the lotto, and we ain't doing the queue. We're gonna be struggling.
In the interest of what I love and what we appreciate here is we appreciate fans going to see live tennis and fans doing the prep work to make it happen, make their dreams come true. Like, I want to see live tennis and then making it happen. So we decided to, extend an invitation to Angie because Angie was able to get to Wimbledon. Angie, how long were you there?
I was there the full first week.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So when did the planning start?
Oh my God. I think because I went last year as well. So I started planning like November last year.
You sound like Andreen. That's what she does. That's exactly how she does it. She don't do things by chance. Like, she don't do chemistry by chance. Just like, oh, I'm planning for 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. So I'm doing this right now. I'm buying the tickets today.
Listen, that's why they go places and we don't. Okay.
Maybe might have a little to do with it.
Angie, you knew you were going to go in November, but so you didn't win the lotto at all, right? You didn't have any tickets beforehand.
No, 2 years I tried and I didn't win it. And then I tried Ticketmaster last year and didn't have any success. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to full on queue. I'm going to do the regular queue. I'll overnight for Roger and then just go from there. So that's what I did.
Okay, we have to talk about the overnight queuing. How like that
start from the beginning. We want.
Were you safe?
Dirty,
because people here, we have crazy ideas about forensic files. We watch forensic files, and we know it's not safe at all. Humans are evil and corrupt. Safety is first. You overnight.
Yeah. So like actually it's really safe because like they have a bunch of stewards around, like honorary stewards, and then like regular stewards in there, usually like probably in their 20s or so, and they monitor like everything. So you pretty much
have to make sure you're not even cutting in line and stuff like that, right?
Right.
So they're really walking the queue.
Right.
So what time did you arrive?
So I queued for Roger on Thursday, that first Thursday. So I got there like around 6 a.m. because I was actually staying at a hostel in King's Cross area, which is like close to the city center. So I took the first tube down to the campgrounds and then I got in the regular queue and I think I was number 2,800 something.
What? No. This is work. This is like 20 DMVs. This is like it was like 20 DMVs and the doctor's office like multiplied by 20. What is like two? This is like Roger, girl. No, Roger, you gotta send me a ticket. I was gonna take a picture of that and send it to Roger. Be like, should I do this? No.
Yeah, so I was like 2,800 something, and then I just waited in the regular queue line, and then they like pull you out. So like they didn't come around for the day I queued, but usually they come around and they ask who is overnighting for the next day, and then they'll pull you out of the regular queue line and put you in the overnight queue line. And then
so you don't start at an overnight queue, you start in the regular queue.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And that's why it was 2,800 something. And then once you get in the overnight queue line, then they line you up by like your queue number. So in the line I was in, the first girl was like 2,700, and then it was like my 2,800, and then everyone else. And then after they get everyone in order, then they tell you to put your tent down. And then in the afternoon, they pass out the cue cards for like the first 500. So my cue card was 297. So
that's
reasonable.
So the cool thing about it is you already know that you're gonna get on center. Like you know if you've made it in time. So if they give you something and it's like 5:01, you're like, I'm leaving. You could decide to leave then.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good.
Or, yeah. Or like if court 1 is really good, then if you're 501, then okay, you're guaranteed for court 1, and then you can still catch a lot of like great play on that court. So yeah, but it's really important when they pass out the second batch of cue cards, because if you miss that, then you pretty much lose your spot and you can't get any show court. So you have to be so diligent, and they only let you out for like 30-minute increments, and you have to like let them know like, okay, like I'm going out to somewhere in Southfields to get like some food and some drink, and then you come back within like 30 minutes. They say like you can be gone maximum an hour, but you have to pretty much like stay in those campgrounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Serena left a plate on a chair. You get that silver plate, Angie. Like you deserve this. Like, this is the effort that.
So did you do it with somebody, or because I know you made friends after a while, but when you did the overnight queue, did you plan it with somebody and then you had people with you, and or did you make friends around you?
So like I had some friends that were already in the queue from like Saturday, and then I met all of them like as I got settled in.
Okay.
So they were like, yeah, like our tents are back here. And then they were all like grouped together. So I just like they all had like air mattresses, and I just like hung out with them like for the whole night. And then I went to bed like probably around 11-ish or something. And then it was really bad because my tent, I paid like $15 for it and it didn't close. So like I was thinking to myself, I was like, all right, like last year when I overnighted, it was kind of warm. So I was like, okay, like I'll be okay with my open tent. No, it was freaking cold. So I literally had to crunch myself in the corner of my tent, put like my extra blanket on, and just like crouch.
So Andrew, you're telling us you left United States of America, went to jolly old England to sleep on grass? Girl, no.
It's Wimbledon grass. It's the
Tony said, and I agree with Tony. Tony just like, we're gonna need Uber for this queue. Like this is some kind of app. Like this is too much.
And see, you know what's interesting about that though? So once they give you your cue card, you can move around and then set wherever you want to. Okay, that's I was like, oh, so then that's where you can make friends and hang out and do
right. But then like sometimes like a couple points they did come around and check to see if you were actually like in your tent, because they're really diligent about you like being there and not skipping or like trying to save spots for people. So they'll do these random checks and be like, hey, like, where is this person? Like, they haven't been here for a while. And like, and it was really crazy. Like, I was with, you know, my friends and everything, and they actually did find someone that was like saving spots for other people. And they told them like, yeah, you guys got to go. I was like, oh shit.
God damn. I bet they were number 3,000. They want to
listen. I got a serious question.
Yeah.
How did it smell?
Potty.
I mean, when I was like around all the tents and everything, there was no smell, but the bathrooms were really, really gross. Like they did such a
oh, this is why I'm not about camping. They've got to improve the bathroom. Bathroom is
they were so bad. And like the worst part, so like it would have been okay if they would have had like disposable paper towels, but they have these like annoying like cloth rollers. And I'm like, that's so unsanitary. That's so unsanitary.
Even I did not know. I didn't think they would have that in the camping bathroom. Come on.
They did. I was like, oh my God. And even like when I got on the grounds and I was using those, I was like, this is so inefficient and so gross, and it's so hard to pull them too, because you literally have to like pull them down. Like you just can't do it like a little.
And not everybody knows to pull it,
right?
So sometimes it's really So how many nights did you? How many times did you queue, and how many did you do it overnight?
So I have a limit of one night. I can't do like
Roger ain't that important.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, I will overnight for you, Raj, one time, but I'm not doing this anymore. And then I regular queued pretty much the rest of the time I was there.
And what's a regular queue for you? What time did you get there and was able to get in and find like good seats?
So pretty much I got there like around 6-ish, like every day. And yeah, and then I got in. So like the first day was really, really brutal because they were kind of disorganized with like getting everyone in efficiently and security. So I got there at 6, I think like 6:06 or something. I didn't get in until 11:45.
Oh my God.
Bro, this is worse than work.
Yeah.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like
definitely silver plate. You get that silver plate, Angie. There's no wrong.
Well, because they let you into the ground starting at about 10, right?
Right.
Okay.
So like when I overnighted, I got in like around 9:30 or so. But then like when you get in at 9:30, they still have areas of the grounds blocked off. So like you're pretty much confined like in a general area. So like the food areas are open, but you can't go to center court. You can't really go to like outside courts and stuff like that. You can't go to a ranky and like maybe try spot players. So you're just kind of like sitting ducks. Like, what the hell is this? Like I'm here, but I can't see anything. It's very, very strange. But like, yeah. So the first day I got there, 11:45, and then the rest of the days I got in like 11:15, 11:20, and then I think the last day I went, Saturday, I got there actually later. So I got there to the campgrounds like maybe like close to 9 in the morning, and I got in at like 1. So yeah.
You decided to sleep one day and then that's just what happened.
Yeah, because it was so brutally hot the whole time I was there. Like I thought like maybe there'd be a couple hot days, but it'd be like moderate. No, it was just hot. And
you live where in America?
I live in Miami, and I thought I would be like okay with it, but I think the reason why like it got to me more is because in my hostel there was no AC, so I was just like,
you could have been in Paris, and then it could have been in Paris, and it was
it was.
So at your youth hostel, did you share a room?
Yeah, I was in an 8-bed dorm.
Oh my God.
Roger needs to adopt you. I swear to God. I think Leo, Lenny, Maya Lynn, or whatever her name is, Charlene Rose, or whatever the girls, they need a black sister. You need to get in on that. Let me just send a tweet to Roger, because
how was that?
I've kind of commitment
with that many people. I think I've only done it with we did it for foursomes.
Okay.
How was that?
Did you feel like a Harry Potter experience? Like in a dormitory. I'm in Hogwarts. Okay?
I mean, like
let's make this magical.
The first day was kind of awkward because I think it was like 7 people in the room, and most of them were guys. I was like, okay, this is a little strange, but
did you feel safe?
For the most part, yeah. I just thought to myself, like, okay, like they're guys, they're not gonna want to steal my stuff. So I'm like, okay, like there's that, and then like overall the hostel was pretty safe. So I was like, okay, like here, like let's go with this. And then from the first day, it went down to like 4 people. I think it was like all girls at that point. And then as I started cycling through for Wimbledon and stuff, it's just people kept like cycling through our room. So
that is so weird.
Girl, Janina, we need to win the lotto, girl. I can't. This experience. I mean, thank you, Angie. I'm just learning this ain't real.
But no, but it's not for real. So bad. No, but you know what? The youth hostel is a good option. What's the option for Tony?
Tony has a question. He wants to know if there are TVs in the queue so you can watch what's going on as you wait.
I mean, like, so it was really weird. They said like Wi-Fi was supposed to be in the queue, but it was only in a certain area, like where the golf course was. So for me, like I had I had an EE SIM card and it had really good 4G. So I just watched everything on my phone. That's pretty much what everyone did. But no, there was like no TVs or anything in the queue.
And Chad wants to know if any of these people in the flat or in the hostel were sexy.
Could make a love connection.
Zero. Absolutely zero.
So let's talk. I mean, share as much as you're comfortable sharing. Let's talk about cash. You know, for somebody who's thinking about something like this,
Right.
Overall, like the overnight and the center court ticket, how much was that?
So the center court ticket, because I went on Friday, it was like £102. So I think an American, that's like maybe like $120 or something like that. Somewhere
That's
close.
pretty decent for like one day of center court, right?
Right. And you get like really, really close too. It's not like you're up like in the nosebleeds or whatever.
That's Arthur Ashe. I think everywhere. There's no only Arthur Ashe has nosebleed. Everywhere else,
It's modest.
be like you're in the match. Okay. Only Ashe does
that
nosebleed.
seems like it's like fourth or fifth row. At least it always looks like that for the people who queue overnight. Seems like it's really
right. And it was really great for me because last year, like for my overnight queue seat, I was like kind of in the corner, but this seat, it was like more central. So I got like better overall, like wide pictures. And I just felt like I could see the action a lot better from that middle section compared to being like in the corner.
Okay.
So you do get rewarded for all that hard work.
Right. And like even for a grounds pass, like, oh my God, I think the first 2 days or something, I want to see like 10, 12 matches. But I only saw like maybe like 3 or 4 because like they get like so enthralling and like kind of how the grounds are spread out too. It's a little bit hard to run around.
Yeah.
Who'd you see on center court?
So I was.
I mean, like, if she didn't see Roger, I mean, like, it was by far you should have ripped the whole roof off. Like.
Yeah, I only saw Roger because I let my friend Asha see Serena. So I was like around the grounds, like watching other matches while she watched Serena, and then I swapped my ticket back, and then I like watched on center court with Roger. So it was pretty much Roger for center court, and then I was on the grounds for everybody else. So
yeah, you saw some great matches. Like, who are some of the people you saw?
So I saw Luca Pui. I saw my boo-boo Vash.
Yes, she's a Vashi fan. So you guys can compare notes about Vash.
Vash and Popsicle?
Yes.
Popsicle?
Yes. She's a popsicle
I know when this
fan.
was the Angie you were gonna bring in, Andrew. Now but you're a fat fan. You're a fat fan. Anyway, and Vash is kind of an airhead, so you know, like you can share him. We can share him. He's a little bit of it. Actually, he does make himself available a lot to the fans. He's never busy with tennis anyway.
Yeah, he's
does
super
make
super
himself.
sweet. So.
Yeah, at the US Open, he always sets up shop and he's there, and his eyes. Oh my God, you can see that one. It's hot as hell and bright, but his eyes just light up. I mean, it's like.
There you go. You just had your moment there. A Vashi moment. Clean yourself up.
I think Angie needs to be cleaned up. You can't see me.
Oh my God.
You can't see me at all. Who else did you see? I'm mad she's calling him Vash. She's like, no, girl, no. We don't do this. It's Popsicle. It's
Got
Popsicle.
her boo name.
Hey man, I mean, I have way too many names for him, so I'm just keeping it base level.
Okay. We're in church. We are in church. Okay.
Okay.
So who else did you see?
Yeah, so I saw Lucy Safarova, I saw Ekaterina Makarova, I saw Francis Tiafoe. I was really sad about that match because he played so well in those first 2 sets against Karen, and then for some reason, like I didn't know if he was like tanking.
Or could you tell that he was sick? Because it turns out that he was sick. Did the crowd have a sense of what was happening in that match? Because it turns out apparently that he had a stomach thing.
We were just all generally confused. We were like, wait, like you're playing so well, and now like what's happening? And then he went off court. And then it was like actually really, really funny because so where court 12 is situated, there's actually like a bathroom right across from it. So he wasn't feeling well. So he actually went in that bathroom and like there was a security guard and the security guard told everyone to get out of that bathroom so he could like like no one was like everyone had to get out and no one could go in until he came out and everything. I was like
that works. Look at that.
That's how it works. What imagine what they think you might do in there with that to a player. Like,
Angie, you need a security for that bathroom in the campground. This is what you needed to get next time around. Bring your own security. Everyone get out. Clean this shit up first. And then...
Oh my God. Apparently his need to shit is greater than
I'm just saying. No. Do you want your lasting memory of Francis Kilfoy to hear in the bathroom just like who wants that anecdote to themselves? You know what I mean? Like it sounds far more sexy. Like he went into the bathroom, security said everyone get out, as opposed to girl, I was in that bathroom and Francis just like whoa. That came on like 125 miles an hour. I mean, his serves are big, but I'm telling you, what else is big?
Oh my God.
So you saw that whole match, I thought.
I did. And then he came back out after the bathroom break. And I thought like, okay, like maybe things will like turn a little bit. And then you could just tell like he wasn't himself anymore. Like it was a bug or something. And like he wanted to respect Karen. So he finished the match. But I was just like, damn, that really sucks. Cause like, you know, like I think it was the third round or something. I'm like, to get that deep at Wimbledon and then have like body betrayal and like a stomach bug, like that's really, really shitty.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So Chad keeps talking about how you got to meet the king and queen on your first 2 days.
Yeah. So it was really, really crazy. So I think maybe a few days before I left, I was like scrolling down my Twitter feed at work and I saw Venus was having an event at a store called Selfridges. I was like, wait, is this real? Like, no way. So I clicked on it and they're like, yeah, like, you know, she's having this event, like, you know, to launch like her new Atlanta line. And it was like, I think 30 pounds or something. And 15 of the pounds you could use to like buy any clothing item from the line that you wanted to. So I was like, oh, okay, sweet. Like my hostel isn't too far from there. I can just tube there. So I was like, okay, like here, I'll buy it. And then I actually like went to the event and, you know, I like sat down and we were like waiting for her. I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to see Venus. I'm going to see Venus. I'm going to. And then she came out. I was like, oh my God, like Venus is here. Venus is here in my mind. And then it was extra crazy because like Isha was like behind us, like taping, like videoing the little like talk she was having. And Oracene was like chill as can be, just like, you know, listening and everything. And I'm just like, oh my God, is this real life? Like, this is so cool. And then like, I was wondering like, okay, like, are they going to be, can we like actually like meet her and take pictures? And it was so cool because it was like, I think 30 of us there and they had it really well organized. So pretty much Venus took pictures with everybody that was there. And then like when I got up there, like I said, like, hi Venus. And then like, I literally almost lost my shit when she said, she said to me, like, I really love your hair. I was like, oh my God! Like, Venus Wire just told me she loved my hair. Like, I'm just like, internally like screaming to myself.
That is a fan experience. Oh my gosh. I love that she took a look around and she's like, I'm loving everything you're doing. Nice. Because you were looking so cute. Angie posted on her Instagram feed so you could see it as well.
Yeah.
Did you get to meet Oracene, the queen, who the real queen, if you ask me? But you know, and Isha.
No, I didn't get to meet them, but like actually I was surprised. Like Oracene was readily taking pictures of people too, like on the side. I was like, wow, like I thought she would kind of like step back a little bit, but no, she was like, yeah, like I'll take pictures. Like they were just all like so relaxed and chill.
They're the real super mom in this world. I'm just saying, it's Oracene.
So tell us about seeing LeMonfils.
So it was really, really weird because that event wasn't as organized as like Venus's
It's
event.
Monfils.
Like,
I mean, it's shocking. Like, I mean, like,
no, but like
it's Monfils.
Wait, no,
Fred.
it's not his event. It's not his event. It's A6. No, wasn't it A6?
it was A6, but like I didn't go to Joe's part of the event because I was in Kensington Gardens and Hyde Park like doing stuff. So I was like, okay, like since he's like a pretty big like A6 athlete, I thought they would like maybe have like a little bit more for him. But literally, like he walked in and they didn't even like announce he was there. Like he met like with I guess like an agent lady and like a couple people like from the A6 store. And literally you wouldn't know that he was like a tennis player. Like he just kind of casually walked in and like said hi to everyone. And then like they had a serve challenge outside of the store. And then like some people like started to recognize him. And like one guy was like, oh my God, that's Moses. But it wasn't like, you know, a reverberating thing. And then like once the serve challenge finished, then like a group of people started to like crowd around. And there's like the really nice guy next to me. I was like, hey, like if you take a picture for me, I'll take a picture for you. And he was like, okay. And then I called out to Gael. I was like, excuse me, Gael, would you mind taking a picture of me? He was like, yeah, sure. And then like took the picture and then I took the picture for the guy. And I was like, oh my God, that was so cool.
Andre, you better watch your man because you see Andre is
She's on it.
she's on it. Janina, you better be careful because
Hey,
we had a great old time in job. Was this better than your last year because you were there last year?
Yeah, because last year I was there for like a few days and like so I got in on the weekend and then I went right into Wimbledon. So I didn't have time to settle as much. But like since I went a few days earlier before the tournament, I had enough time to settle. I had enough time to get over jet lag. I had enough time to like see the city and everything before I got like really into the like the crux of the tennis. So yeah, so it's just more relaxing and I felt like it was like the perfect amount of time to like enjoy everything.
So,
Yeah, because the second week was horrible. So you're right.
so no regrets?
No regrets. It's been like a real blessing to go like 2 years in a row and I wouldn't trade any of it for anything. So cool.
And Venus, you saw Roger, and Venus said your hair was cute. So, I mean, you went up for like $1 million, a horrible bathroom, hostel with strange people. You know, like, hey, I saw Roger, and Venus said my hair was cute. What do you got? That's how I spent my summer, people.
So are you doing it again? Are you going to keep this tradition going or no?
I mean, I would, but I'm going to start interning next year, so I won't be able to go for 2019. I'm like semi-thinking about 2020, but we'll see.
That's Sandrine. I'm telling you. She
maybe no hostel this time. She's like...
I mean, I kind of love the hostel life, but I wouldn't stay at the hostel I stayed at this year again. Like I'd probably stay like somewhere near Wimbledon and then probably do like an Airbnb and like stay in a house like I did last year.
Rafa has the house. Maybe you can go hang at his place. The whole compound.
I know.
You can hang out with Cersei. She ain't got nothing else to do with herself lately, so you know, like she could use some company.
Who's
So,
Cersei?
Any advice?
Zika, I don't know, his girlfriend, whatever her name is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Any advice for anyone who's thinking about doing this? Like what sort of improvements did you make from the year before that you learned from that, you know, for a newbie who's thinking, you know what, this might be something I want to do?
I mean, I think the two biggest things for me, like really plan ahead, and then like a lot of articles and like blog posts from other people really helped me as well, like to kind of get like the framework of like, okay, like what's going on. And also Expedia deals really, really helped me because they have a lot of like great like flight and bundle deals, like hotel deals you can do. And you can actually finance them too. So that helped me a lot. So I didn't have to like try and pay $1,000 up front. Like I just do like payments every month.
Oh, that's great. Oh, they allowed you to do that. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because there's a company called Affirm and they have like things through Expedia and you can do it for stores too. And they like set like a interest rate and then they give you monthly payments for whatever trip you want to do. And then you just pay it every month.
Oh, that's a really good idea. So you sorted it out early and then set the price and then you were just paying it down.
Right. And also like if you don't want to do like, so like say you find like a really good hotel somewhere, but you still want to finance a flight. There's also a site called Airfordable and you can like pay in installments for flights too. So you do like a down payment and then you can like pay like bi-weekly or whatever for flights.
Oh, so, Angie, that's wonderful. That's good advice because usually that's really hard to do when you put it all together and you see how much it all costs.
Yeah, it's like, oh, where am I going to get this money from, Roger? Where? I'm just send you the link and you put in your credit card information and
right.
And then the other thing is, so where are you headed to next? What other live tourney adventure are you trying to have?
Cincy. I think that's going to be my last one of this year. Like actually today I was like low key thinking about the World Tour finals, but we'll see. I'll have to see like who's there and
you're already late. Andrine is already on top of that. You need to she has all of the key in one. You're a little late, girl.
You can't be fun. I mean, look, fair play. I buy my tickets for that at the start of the year.
See, she's already ahead of you.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like for me, like it's not the same as like other tournaments that I get like super gung ho for. Yep. So and it takes like a little bit more planning, like like school and everything, and how I am like with the other tournaments I go to because. This year, I've like gone to a lot of tournaments again because I went to Delray Beach for a few days and then I went to Miami and then I did Charleston for the first time this year and I did Wimbledon and then I'm doing Cincy. So
you've gotten a lot in. This is decent. Yeah. That's decent.
Like I'm over this. Okay, I'm done. You bitches are broke. You bitches are killing my finance. I can't be chasing up the millionaires. Like.
So, any other questions for Angie from the co-host or from the YouTube channel?
The PC360 says Jock Sock won't be there, so I'm sure you'll have fun.
I try not to think about Jack when I can because he always makes me pretty salty. So I try to disregard.
Is that
Mark Miller said I saw you in Miami. So
really?
Angie. And Tony said since he's the cherry on top of your tennis year.
Hey man, I always enjoy my time in Cincy. It's a really good tournament, and I love the vibes over there. So,
do you see Roberta Vinci eating chicken wings?
Cut it out.
That's what Sister Beatrice be looking at.
I really
been to the famous Applebee's, Angie.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
my first year there, and I remember I was like, "Oh my god, they actually have churros on this menu." Yeah, let me get some churros. This is awesome.
Well, it's no longer there, so you won't get churros this year.
I know.
The Applebee's is closed?
Yeah.
It's gone. Yeah, it's all gone. I like Cincy because it's Federland.
Yeah, that's
they really like Federer there. I'm just saying.
True story.
Yeah, no, it's a good
God,
tournament.
another place on the map where Nole will get no love. God,
No, this is his year, though. I think it is. This is you know, that's the only
Zip
Masters
it,
he doesn't
Andrew.
have.
Zip it.
It's the only one he doesn't have. I'm sorry.
Zip
you
it.
wanna give Tony's gonna tear that place down. Okay, Tony will not have it. Tony's in his M'Baku voice. He will not have it. He will not have it at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, like Nole can take it, like when Roger like just calls it quits and is like hanging somewhere, but until then, I'm just like, no, Nole, like I can't have it. Can't have it.
I'll trade you Cincy for the U.S. Open.
Oh,
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say. I'm just like, yeah, I think Nole's checking for Cincy.
Oh my
He's ruined
God.
so many Federer dreams in New York City. So and Yolita got a chat just showing that alone. They got a whole pyramid.
He's coming for us. He's coming. Nole's coming for us. I mean, have you had a chance to watch some of the tennis on TV now?
Yeah, like I watched the quarterfinal against Kevin, and I watched like a few other matches, but it's been like a little sporadic because I'm just like, favorites
You're
are
over
out.
Yeah.
Like,
That's how we all feel, girl.
and also like my mind is focused on Newport Slam now, so
Can't with you. You know, grass tournaments after Wimbledon are the. That's almost as bad as clay tournaments after Wimbledon.
I know, but
Look, yeah, like trying to come for Rajiv Tiger. Y'all trying to come for Rajiv.
Stop.
Look, I hope Griggle goes there. That might turn around his year.
Pospisil is there, so she. You know, you should take a trip up there.
Griggle needs to go there to revitalize.
Live there.
Griggle, I hope you will be in Newport, okay? And get revenge on Rajiv, okay?
you know, like I'm trying, like, you know, to warm myself a little bit, be like, yo, Vashek, like hook me up like a little bit, like even if it's just like an inch, like I've been like supporting you like for the last few years, like I've expended a lot of energy, like you got to give me something back.
One time, even a double.
Ain't nobody else following him, so.
All right.
For his tennis.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about your experience. I really enjoyed the fact that you shared a room with 7 men. That was cool.
And you survived, and you had no Me Too moment. Well, at least that you're willing to share. I don't know, but
Cut it out.
I mean, you deserve it. Because I wouldn't share a room with 7 men, and I'm just saying.
I mean, and that's shocking because he's really.
I know.
Why are you
He
lying?
really likes the penis.
He said they weren't even attractive. Like, why? What's in there? Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, that surprises me a little bit too. So I'm like, okay, like.
Don't make it a habit. Don't make it a habit.
I know we sound like your parents. Don't make it a habit.
But you did good, and you survived. You survived the heat of London. You survived, you know, Trump Trump wasn't there while you were there. Thank God, because you just like, I'm trying to run from America from this fuckery, and it followed me here.
But like that does remind me, like in the queue one day, I was like next to a family that came like all the way from Kansas City for Jack. And I was like, here, I'm not going to be salty because you guys are really, really nice. But I'm like, God, like you guys are here
for Jack?
For Jack.
That's weird. People travel for him? Wow, that's impressive. Huh.
Listen, you meet all kinds.
But I was like, you guys are really, really nice. So I'm going to put salty Angie aside and be civil here.
We've tricked her. I know.
If you want to return to the podcast and tell us about your live tourneys and bring salty Angie, we'd appreciate it.
Yes, we do. And we give you that Serena plate that she left there. You deserve it, Angie. You deserve it.
Take it up and carry it out.
Serena don't want it, and I think we should make fair use of it, and you deserve Wimbledon. You deserve something you deserve some hardware from Wimbledon.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, you all can follow Angie on Twitter at Anges, ANGS 2014. Show her some love. She was great.
Thank you so much. That was
Thank
so
you.
awesome. Wow. I mean,
That was
listen,
fun.
the Q experience. I don't
No,
know.
I'm
Guys.
sorry, ladies.
I don't
Listen, fuck that shit.
We gotta
Fuck
win.
that
We
shit.
gotta win money because
I will never do that ever.
a
Ever.
public
You know what?
loo.
Listen, she
No.
seems really nice and really sweet, and I think she just didn't want to tell us that them people are funky as hell.
That's why I
think
said
she
it's a good thing
could.
you weren't in Paris because that would have been. Paris don't do that. French Open will not do that. You can't queue up like that madness. Look, I don't know
I
which
don't
one
think
of
the
you
French could
ladies
be
have
as
to go put
organized.
out somewhere, but yeah, Reels
No,
is
we're
not queuing
pimping
up.
out. No,
Mm-mm.
this is not a Me Too moment, boo. You're gonna pimp out your own self.
Cut it out.
So let's wrap up.
All right,
with
so
the
we have
dudes.
to wrap up these men. Like, let's just get it over with
Let's
because
get it over with. So,
It's
Janina, is Novak
Yeah.
Djokovic back? Is he back to
I
stop
told
all our faves and kill
Yes.
all of
yes, I told you guys this a couple weeks ago.
You know
didn't
what,
wanna
Sister
believe me.
Beatrice? You know what, Sister Beatrice?
it.
I just gotta say,
Zip it. Listen, he's back. I told you, motherfuckers. He looks like he's been eating food. He's back.
you see the kind of prophecy I want Sister Beatrice to tell us about. She don't. This is not the kind of visions I want you to have. Okay, I want you to see Venus winning majors, not Nole. Okay, so I don't know who you
told
need to
you.
speak to.
I didn't say that he was gonna win. I didn't. I really expected Federer to win. He had a fucking cakewalk to the final, and he screwed it up. But I told you he's back, and he is back.
Can
He's
I
out
just
there
say? Can I
roaring.
just say that I don't want any more Nole and Rafa Vidal match. Just never again,
No,
ever.
I want them. I love them. Let me just tell you right here.
I tell you what.
Rafa, Nole is here for Rafa. That's it. That's it. That's it. What else are we gonna do? We're gonna sit around and watch Nole play other people?
Well, that's true, but I mean, like, well, okay, all right, you're fair point. Fair point. You're right. But for me, when I watched that match, I felt like I've seen that match a million bazillion
You
times.
have. Did
The
you see a
same
difference?
match,
Did you
the
see a
same
difference?
thing. I feel like I'm seeing the same points. I'm like,
Yeah, it
God
is.
damn it.
Sometimes in the
because you
same
are.
point. The same point.
I mean, I feel like sometimes it's just like, and what's
Cross
even
court?
worse is that I feel like Nole is just toying with this man. It's like Nole couldn't win at any point, but he's out here just to troll.
No.
Nadal.
I didn't
that's
think
not true.
so. Not this
I mean-
time
That's not
around.
true.
In the past, I would say that, but I think
But I
this
feel
was
like
much
Nole
closer
was
than
wasting
yeah.
so many opportunities. Like he had so many chances.
opportunities. He had
had a
many
lot of
opportunities,
opportunities.
but he didn't take advantage of
But
them.
to me, he was just like making it, just making it cute and sexy just for like publicity. Like it was
No.
supposed to, I don't know. The match
when it
just
came,
seemed like
listen, when Novak got done, he was like, fuck you. He broke Rafa at love and won the match. That's how it went down. He said, I ain't fucking around anymore.
But exactly. So to me, just like the matches.
So wait,
like,
you guys you were not in doubt about the outcome of that match.
No,
I
I
was.
always felt the match was on Novak strings. Like he was in control of that match from the
Well,
jump.
I didn't get to see all of it. So
He
I don't
was,
know.
but then what happened to him in the second set?
Well,
Like,
to me,
Novak is still. I mean, you say Novak is back. It's not the mentally, like stalwart Novak. He's not
it's
there
coming.
yet.
It's
Coming, but he's not
It's
that.
peeking its ugly rearing head. Let me tell you something. The Serbian devil is on a fucking train to hell, and he's taking all your faves with him.
That's
Believe
okay. I don't mind it. Listen, if we have to deal with Novak
my face
losses.
survived all these storms. He survived all these storms.
No, but I'm just
All
saying,
these
I actually
facts.
think it was a good match. I think this was actually one of the better matches that Rafa has
What?
played against Novak. Definitely. On his least favorite surface, the grass, he had shots in there. Because let's be honest, what happened to Novak in the fourth set? What happened to him in 2 and 4?
To me, this is
2 and
just
4.
it. But this is this thing, right? To me, a lot of the matches I watch Nole and Rafa play, right? Because I've seen a lot of them. Like I'm like 50 something, and I'm just like, good Jesus, I think I've watched them all. But it is that Nole just seemed to be proving some kind of a petty point. Is an endurance test because at time it's just like, well, why are we not finishing the fucking point? Why are you extending this rally 6 more shots?
Well, but it's Rafa. He gets to so many things that
No.
other people don't get
No.
to.
No.
There were a
saw
lot of
it.
short balls that Nole did nothing with.
Did nothing with.
So-
He just pushed it back in. And like you said, when Nole was just ready, he was just like, I'm breaking you at love. Boom. Like, to me, I always get the sense in a lot of these matches, especially with Nole 2.0 or whatever version
This
came
is
back.
5.6.
Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's like, you know, he is continually delaying these matches and stretching them out to prove a point. I am going to break you, Nadal. He can't do it, but to me, it just seemed as an exercise in futility, you know, to just continue to extend these matches. Because to me, it's just like every set took an hour. Every fucking set
That's
took an
Rafa.
hour.
That's how Rafa played.
No, this even
And
not do
Novak was nervous at times.
Two of them
Listen,
are the same
we-
thing, right?
He was nervous at times.
We know that when Novak bounces the ball for a really long time before he serves, he's nervous, and he had some
He had
marathon
some
bounces.
nerves. Yeah, he had
He
some
was
nerves.
nervous.
Yeah, he
To me-
wasn't 100% on. I mean, I think Rafa served as a nice fluffer for Novak this time around. I think he's gonna like himself at the end of this tournament and what he was able to prove. That he got to a pretty good Rafa on grass. Rafa, this is the first time Rafa has made it this far in a good while.
Yeah, and he looked very solid. He looked like,
Yeah.
in fact, to me, besides Nole, Rafa looked the one to win this tournament.
I know,
Right?
Oof,
Unfortunately, girl.
Well,
shut up.
I mean,
so
No.
did you expect the final to be better than it was?
No, not at
I
all.
did.
what?
No,
I
not
did.
after Kevin. I mean, Kevin's been on court, as he
Well,
said, 10 plus hours.
Yeah, that's true. I take
Why did
away
you?
that whatever that because I'm not thinking clearly. I'm not
Good.
thinking about
Then-
the Isner match. If that Isner match hadn't have happened, I would expect it to
It would have
be
been more
closer.
competitive. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
Novak was nervous enough. There would have been some opportunities for Kevin in that match.
Yeah.
On
I mean, if
grass.
Kevin could have came out and played like he did in the third set from the beginning, then that would have changed the whole tone. He wouldn't have won probably.
I don't think so either. I mean, in my mind, honestly, I mean, I believe Nole is a superhuman mutant. I do.
Well,
I don't
But
know.
I mean,
Ed,
I
of
think
course he
the
is.
truth is though, but the theme continues. Unless these top guys are playing each other, it's a gimme final.
Yeah, I mean,
That's really what you've seen, right? I mean, from the last Grand Slam final, when is the last time you had a slam final on the men's side go the distance? I think, was it 2017? I think it's 2017 Australian Open.
Roger and Rafa
Again, proving my point, right? But if
at Wimbledon, you mean?
No, ever for the
No.
couple years,
But
for the last couple
this
cycles.
this year, Australian Open finals with 5 set. No.
Oh, it did, but you know, what I mean, but Federer was really comfortable for a good while until he said, he started thinking about it, and he went away. But I mean,
Yep.
I feel like whenever it's the top guys and an outlier, it's kind of a done deal.
Well, I mean, we know this, right? There's no question about that.
Oh yes,
But you need help. What you need, you need none of them to get to the final.
Well,
That's what you need. You need none of them to get to the finals. And I mean, but unfortunately, the options we had on the side was what? Isn't there?
It was a bad reshuffle.
It just wasn't. It wasn't going to be a sexy final.
Yeah. Although
no, it wasn't. So
I think Evan Anderson made it sexy when getting to 7-6.
No, I mean, I would have liked
tiebreaker.
Federer to have at this Nole. Nole would have been.
Maybe.
We gonna get Nole at 100%
on US Open. Yeah, because I mean, this time I think Nole would have self-combobulated. He would have self-destruct somewhere. He would have been like mentally out of the place.
Had some moments in this one if Federer had made it to that final.
Yeah, and the crowd would have been, in his, would have definitely been on Federer's side. There would be no questions about that. But I know they probably wanted to go watch that soccer final. So Federer would have been like, "Oh, we're gonna keep you here a little bit longer." Ooh, and someone showed the score.
I'm happy Nole is back. Nole is my second favorite of the top 4.
Girl, you have second favorite? I just have Federer.
No, I mean, but Nole is my second fave of the four. So, because I know his purpose,
Yeah.
to reign in those numbers.
Yeah, do it.
For my fave and yours, but still.
Oh, I see what you said. I see what you said.
That is Nole's
But I'm
job.
petty. I'm petty still.
He's so petty, you can't even.
The result, by being gracious, won't change the result. So
I'll just
it won't
confess.
change anything.
I'll just confess that I can feel clean. I was the only person on my timeline cheering for Isner. That's just how I was.
Oh
Cut
God!
the shit. I'm not.
I really
talking
was.
I mean, like, I was mad at you. Honestly, I was just like, "What the hell is wrong with this woman? What, do I know her?" I mean, just like,
Listen,
God.
she was cheering for Isner because she knew that Federer would handle him.
No, but
That's
that
all
was
that was.
later. But I was cheering for Isner because I think he still would have been problematic for Novak. I think he would have been a little bit more interesting, at least, just a little bit. Maybe not.
That's wishful thinking. That is wishful thinking.
I know.
Because I'm telling you, if Nole had felt the spirit, he would have bagel Janina. I just saw the spot.
He would have tried the serve.
He would have he would have made that serve look like salami. Like it's just gonna be like
salami.
It's gotta just smash it, just eat it, because you don't eat bread.
All right, it's time to put this Wimbledon to bed.
Oh, thank God!
Congratulations to Angie Kerber. Congratulations to the Serbian Devil. We really, really are happy that you're back. We are. For now. Don't piss
until you start crouching on those numbers, and then we're gonna have to cut you off at the knees.
That's right.
Don't you dare stand in 21's way, okay? Don't you dare. Unless you know what, Nole, I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes I'm a little petty, but just sometimes. And what I really wanted Nole to do for me yesterday was to win that fifth set 9-7.
I know.
Didn't.
Oh my God, I was having visions of it. I was like,
so, and I was just like, Nole, that's it for me. Like whatever. I don't give a shit anymore. Win it, lose it, whatever. Just get out of here. I just needed you to do that, but you didn't. So whatever. But
you can't be everything to everyone, okay?
But I mean, here's the thing. I think men's tennis is not gonna be exciting anymore because there won't be any kind of new faces creeping up in there, like a Tillich story. You know what I mean?
I want to respect Kevin. Obviously he gave a lovely runner-up speech. He's really articulate and seemed like a very smart guy. But there's no fire in my belly watching Kevin Anderson. And so, this was his second slam final. Similarly, Cilic, second slam. I mean, these are the people who are reaching finals, and I don't mind them, but they're definitely not going to be people who are going to be like blazing fires and getting the fans all like hopped up and anything like that. So next gen people need to seriously step it up.
But can they? I mean, like, look at what Nadal and Djokovic did on that court. Like, Jesus, who can withstand that?
They don't have to play like that. They just need to get there. Listen, at some point in time, if you guys can't tell, Rafa's slowing down. I think this was his big charge at Wimbledon. I think he really wanted it this year. And he's using interesting language now. So, I mean, at some point in time, somebody's going to have to slow it down and show a little bit of spring in their step. I'm hoping it'll be that. I'm hoping next gen will make some push. Let's do something exciting at the USO, people. Come on.
Please.
Not too exciting though, but I know what excitement means for you all, which means eliminate Federer and then go down.
Girl, no. Exciting for me is 21. I don't know about you. Exciting for me is 21.
No. But I'm hoping for a good U.S. Open on both sides, for the women and the men. I'm hoping it's a ruckus. I'm hoping everybody that lost early at Wimbledon's like, come final slam of the year. I'm showing my mantle. And we can have a real good
that humidity is going. I could just see Petra being a hot mess, she could bring some excitement because she's lively in the presser, but she's going to be like, oh girl, Courtney, that weather, I was up 6-1, 5-2, and then that heat came out, and then I was like, but I'm back. It's wonderful to be back on tour.
Well,
yeah, I know how it goes.
Any final impressions?
Meghan Markle had to smile because she didn't come for that mess. She didn't come for that.
I don't want to talk about that. I really don't.
She's so dull as a royal. I mean, I vicariously live through.
But
her
any
life,
all of
but
any
every
of them
other
even
thing is
they're all
just
dull.
dull.
They
Ugh,
all
dull
have
to
a
me.
speech and
I just
whatever.
care about her outfits, and that's bare minimum, really. Ugh, I just find her completely uninteresting as a personality. Sorry, that was maybe a little bit more.
But apparently had a really good wedding, so that's all we care about. And I didn't
Well,
get
the
into
wedding was great. The wedding was great. That was a wonderful performance for everybody. But every time I see her, I was like, "Whew."
Kyle said Zverev will beat Federer and lose to Nole. You see, that's the problem. You
See, we already know this. I mean, we don't need to go down this road again. We know that they only can beat one of them.
They can only
Wayne
beat one.
Omar throwing snatching Venus wig again. Like, who? Chad, could you deal with Wayne for me, please? I have no time for this. Chad, handle Wayne right here. Okay?
All their faves.
Thank you.
You're coming for all your faves over the summer. I do think it's going to be real interesting watching Sloane deal with being defending champ there. Woo,
she is going to fizzle out.
We're going to have some fun.
Yeah. So that is mess number one that's going to happen at the US Open. It's going to be like, and Chrissy going to be like, well, I don't know how this happened, but you know, Sloane is a good girl. She's a nice girl.
Well, if anyone's planning on going to the US Open, I'll be there second week. Let me know. Maybe we could say hey.
Maybe.
After
we vet your Twitter profile.
Make sure you're not crazy.
Make sure you're not MAGA. You support MAGA people.
Well, I do occasionally support MAGA people if the slam counts right.
All right, say good night.
Good night, folks. We are putting this Wimbledon to bed. We have a 2 hours about it. It's forgotten. This Wimbledon never happened.
Amen. Praise the Lord. I hope you have enjoyed your 2 weeks.
Federer is still the defending champion. He will defend his title in 2019.
That's okay.
Cut the shit.
It's all right.
Good night, folks. I hope everyone, don't forget we're on Twitter. Chad said he will be there. Serena being back will deflect a lot of that. Oh, that's what Tony wishful hoping. Is Sloane seeing Jody Altildo? Is she seeing him? Are you seeing them? That's the question, because they're everywhere. She got it all over Instagram feed, Patrick. So you need to get with the times, stop being an old man, and get with Instagram.
Yeah, you can follow her on Instagram. She's letting you in on all the details.
Yeah, she take a lot of pictures. She don't take titles, but pictures. Take a lot of pictures.
You cannot say that. Grand Slam title and a final in a Grand Slam given to.
So let us take a moment.
Right.
Alrighty then. Good night, everyone. Good night. And thank you everyone for staying up to it.
Sister Beatrice is talking. Thank you. Go ahead, Sister Beatrice.
Close your eyes. Raise your hands to the Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for this fortnight that we have had on the holy grass of Wimbledon. God bless the Serbian devil. This was his moment, and for that we are grateful. God bless the WTA, because Serena is angry and she will come for them all. And we pray that you will give us the time to be there as she snatches wigs. I hope you have enjoyed the 2 weeks of Reels Church. Please come back and join us soon. And in Wimbledon's name, we pray. The church said,
Amen.
And thank you, folks, for staying up with us late tonight. We usually are earlier.
Night, night.
Good night. Good night.